Welcome to the Chop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our barbershop-style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up.
What's going on, good people?
Hope everybody's having a great day. So today, I have a few guests here today. Not just one, but two guests. And I have...
J-Dubs.
And...
Chunking it down, you already know.
All right, people. So first off, the topic today is, when is the right time to get married? Now, before we jump into this, I want to set it up, the table. Let everybody know where everybody's coming from. So one, we have a person here, me, twinsinc. I'm married. We have Seth. He's divorced. We have J-Dub. He was married at a young age, but now he's getting married again. And then we have Chunky the Don, who's not married, but planning to get married. Now, he hadn't said time yet or when, but he plans to get married. So, once again, when is the right time to get married? And I'm going to set it off first with Jay, because he has a unique story because, like I said, he was married once, divorced, and get married again. So, he's coming back in the flames again, and we don't know why.
Okay, so to give you some background on me, I actually was married at, I think it was 19 years old. So I got married, had a child, and joined the Air Force all in the same year.
All right, just about to ask you that if you was military man. But,
yes. So I did all that at one time. And what happened was when I joined the military, we were stationed in Spokane, Washington. And I did my time in the military, got out, marriage didn't work, divorced, moved to Atlanta. Been in Atlanta for about 12 or 13 years. And I met my fiance now. We've been dating probably about 6 or 7 years now. So I've re-entered the wave of marriage again. So from my perspective, when is the right time to get married is when you find the right one. And what I mean by that is when you find somebody you're compatible with, somebody you sit down and discuss finances with, somebody has some of the same visions that you have, some of the same goals, and can bring to the table what you bring to the table as well. So with all that being said, there's a lot of planning and preparation for somebody that's going to get married. If I could look back on my first marriage, I probably should have waited until I was at least 30 years old because mentally I wasn't prepared for...
Indeed.
I wasn't prepared for what it takes to be married. So I think first you have to understand what it takes to be married or what's expected of you. And then you have to sit down with your partner to discuss what's going to happen in the future. So we've had discussions. So we decided together that it's the time to get married, and I agreed, and we get married next year.
Yay.
Now, before you go in, Chunk and Dunn, I'm going to ask you, it's the question. When is the right time to get married?
I mean, is there ever a right time for you to do anything? I mean, is there a right time for you to open up your business? Is there a right time for you to be mature? Is there a right time for you to find the right one? I mean, everything is a plan that you are not really in control of. You just take the necessary steps to get to that destination. With that being said, I mean, there's many people who felt that they found the right one, whether they be 19, no offense, 30, or even 40. And it still didn't work out. So, who is the right one? In what form does she come in? Like, how does she come to you, or how do you find her? That's the question.
Okay, so because you are not or haven't been married yet, so what are you looking for someone that you're going to possibly marry in the future? What are you looking for? Or, I'm not saying that you're looking to get married, but if you meet that person, what are the things that you're looking for in that person to be like, you know what? This might be the one for the long term.
First and foremost, they got to be communication. One, there got to be an understanding of each other's personalities because, I mean, with that being said, we could be together for 8 years and you don't know nothing of how to basically make me happy or what words trigger me or what words calm me down. There got to be a mutual respect when it comes to money. There got to also be a set foundation or a plan, basically, if we're going to buy a house together or we're going to be in an apartment together because, you know, apartment is just a part of what the relationship is. A house is where you create a home. So, with that being said, it's a few things, you know, personality-wise, your understanding of, you know, views on things. I mean, how you think outside of us when you're on the street. I mean, you're a representation of me. I'm a representation of you anytime we're on the street.
Okay.
So if I'm out there looking bummy, most likely a person who knows I'm in a relationship, they're going to think that you're bummy. But no, maybe I just want to chill in some sweatpants and a T-shirt and some slides. But it's a lot of things that go into it. You know, there's a lot of... Some things are very particular, some things are very big, but it all depends on the individual and who they're talking to.
Kudos, young brother. Kudos. I mean, I feel like at the table that we're all OGs in here. Like we're old. Not saying we're old, but I mean, the other three here been married, right?
Right.
And the fact that you're not married yet and you know what you want is a plus. And I like a lot of those things that you said because before I got married, I didn't think of all those things, right? And one thing you didn't say is that she got to be fine. She got to be this.
Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's the last thing you should try.
Hey, but, you know, coming from someone who has not married yet, I was shocked to hear that he didn't say nothing about that. He talked about finances, communication. Kudos. Chunky it done, ladies. Chunky it done.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
No, I want you to go. Go ahead, married man.
All right. So, I'm now 10 years into the game. 10 years in the game of being married.
A bit.
You say so. So for me personally, when was the right time? Okay, so for me personally, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. So I moved to Georgia back in 2008, right? And I left PA because of a broken heart. So yeah, men do have broken hearts, right?
Nah, we robots, bro. Stop it.
Facts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I came down here and to Atlanta, Georgia, to be 100% a male HOE. Simple as that. I had no reason. I was not. I was not looking to get married. I was like ATL, Freaknik, you know, Pastor Ray. But I still in my head like all the chocolate women down here. I'm about to go crazy. I had no intentions to get married, right? And when I came to Atlanta, I got a shocker of a lot of things that happened in Atlanta. I'm not gonna go into that. It's a whole other topic. But I kind of refocus of what I really want in life, right?
I mean, Tina being a Timothy? My bad.
So, me personally, I got to the point where I wasn't quite looking for marriage right away, but what I was looking for someone long term, and also, so my wife would tell you this. When I first met her, I told her, I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a long term relationship. If it's not what you're about, we can stop now." And I told her I wasn't trying to have sex right now neither. So if you want to try to do that, just go ahead and bounce.
Man, you sound like the woman in the room.
I know, right?
Sound like you were running the game, right?
Hey, for real, that was my mindset at that time when I was looking for a real woman, not the girlfriend. I was looking for a long term relationship. And and after day three, I was like, oh yeah, I'm marrying you. She thought I was crazy when I said that. But 10 years later, here I am. But I didn't have those same. I mean, I wanted someone long term, right? But I didn't think about those traits that you're talking about now, as far as you, when you do get married,
Right.
And you're 32, right?
Yes, sir.
I was 28 at that time when I was looking for a long term relationship, which turned out to be my wife.
Right.
And all those traits that I had, the traits that you said, I didn't think of that. Not saying my relationship is bad or it's horrible, but I wish some of those things that you said I thought about or had an OG tell me about before I say, you know what, I'm going to get married.
Right.
So, but to answer the question, when's the right time? For me personally, it was we both were working. We both had a goal set that we wanted for each other, right? I love the fact that her family is oriented. meaning that I grew up in a family. My family was close, but not super close. But her family was super close. I'm like, oh, I love this. I mean, I mean, grandmas, cousins, aunts, everybody, whatever. So that was like another great thing. I was like, okay, this is family oriented. So my kids will have their grandparents because my grandparents weren't, or granddad either were dead or just weren't shit. So just keep it 100. But you know, it's really hard to say. I just wish those traits that you said I had when I started 2000. You know, back in 2009. Hint, hint. But that's all I gotta say, fellas. I'm gonna pass it over to Seth the Dark. Let us know what it is.
All right. Well, buckle up. All right. So I take everything y'all said, and bear in mind, I agree with you. I got married. I was 28, 29 when I got married. We had the conversations, money and everything. What happened was, it was all bull. So I don't know what's the right time to get married because I don't know if women today are capable of being marriage material. And I'm saying that because I would just recommend all you guys, whether you're married or not, to do a little research on first, second, third, and fourth wave feminism. It basically puts you in the point where a woman, these women nowadays in the West, I'm not going to say across the world or anything, but at least in America, there's a certain script that plays out specifically around the 30-year-old age after they've been doing whatever they wanted to do up until about 30. And at this point, they start portraying what you consider to be marriage potential. The problem being is that that's just a temporary situation. At a certain point in life, they start looking for a marriage because that's what they want. But if she lost her, it depends on the girl, I'm gonna be honest with you. But if your girl lost her virginity somewhere around 15 years old and she's been dating for 15 years, so you're at 30 years old, she is really incapable of being a good wife because you can't have 30 or 40 relationships. And a lot of women do that shit easy and then make some single individual man a happy wife. You really can't. So the problem being, it might be an older lady. Once she hit about 45 and a whole bunch of the stuff that comes with being a single woman has played out, so, I hate to say menopause, but when her sexual market value starts to drop a little bit, you may be able to have a happy relationship. But a 30-year-old man getting married, yeah, by the time you're 40, you're going to find some real huge fissures in what you thought was a solid relationship that's not just going to go away.
So my question is, are you speaking of all relationships or most relationships?
And that's where I get to statistics. So once again, I was married for 14 years, so I did it. Two kids, wife, house, car, all that junk. After a while, I realized with my wife after my kids were born, I realized that specifically when I'm like, yo, we're pretty much done. I don't want 3 and 4 kids. 2 is good, right? Our relationship cooled off ridiculously. But it is, kids take up time. I get that. Now, rolling forward years and years later, once again, we just barely in a relationship. We just going through the motions. We should have got divorced 10 years before we actually did. But when you say specifically relationships, statistically, once again, out of 100 relationships, women will divorce you almost 80% of the time. They will leave you. And it's not because they are angry at you or anything. Women don't leave you for cheating. Women really don't leave you for money. They leave you because they got bored in the relationship, and with no fault divorce, they're under no obligation to stay. You got bored. Once again, when a man, here's my philosophy, but when a man gets into a relationship with a woman, it becomes, we tend to put it on the back burner. We tend to make a relationship with a woman a responsibility. The same as, once again, paying car note, keeping the grass cut, paying the house note. It's just a responsibility. That's on us. But it gets boring. Women don't do boring. So when they get to a certain age, they do want to get married. They want the house. They want the kids. And then once you give that to them, they are no longer obligated to stay in a boring ass relationship, which is what most of us present after a couple of years of marriage. So you have to let them get to a point where they think that they're ready to be married, and they will lie to you the first 5 or 6 times. So 40, honestly, in America, if you can't get her right out of high school, you may as well wait till mid-40s. You might be able to live with her because she's burned out, but you're not going to be happy in the mid-20s and 30s. It's just not going to happen. That's my thought.
But my question to you is now, why is that? Are you talking about this generation, or are you talking about the previous generation? Because the previous generation, 18 years, 25 years, 30 years, it takes a whole lot for our parents to be divorced, because at the end of the day, I've watched relationships growing up. I'm 32, and I've seen 32-year-old relationships, and I'm like, damn, your relationship is as old as me. Mm-hmm. What are they doing differently compared to what us as young men and young women doing right now?
Okay, just a quick question. If you meet a girl right now, how long gonna take you to sleep with her?
It depends on the shorty.
No, but what is it? Now, I guarantee you 10 years ago, your answer will be different. So, if you meet a girl today, you go out, how long do you think you should take to sleep with her?
I mean, like I said, it all depends, because I could put my personal self in it. My mom got two, I got a brother, and we don't got the same father. Mm-hmm. So, how long did it take for the other guy to have, something with my mom? You know what I'm saying? It might sound crazy me talking about it, but it's just being real.
No, I get it. Everyone thinks that they're unique. That's what I'm saying. Your situation is your situation, and there are always a possibility that you will hit the lottery on this relationship thing. Mm-hmm. But 80% of people are not going to hit the lottery. 80% of people are going to be looking headfirst at a divorce within 10 years initiated by the woman, period. There's no nicety about it. That's statistics. You can look it up. Now, when I say how long does it take, because people do studies. In 1990, just 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it used to take you at least 30 days to get a woman naked on average. You meet her, you ain't getting no booty for 30 days. You might be different, but on average, it takes a month.
Is this a survey on one cultural race, or is it a survey across the board?
It's actually worse for black people.
Oh, okay.
So 30 is being nice. Black women, I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay. But statistically speaking, in 1990, if you met a woman, it took you 30 days to see her naked. If you meet a woman right now, it's statistically down to 3 days. You meet a woman, you are going to have sex with her within 3 days. That is a 1,000% increase in the amount of time between meeting and having sex with a woman. Now, think about a long-term relationship. Because of technology, everything that we consider long-term has been condensed. Example, your grandfather went to work every day. He saw your grandmother 2 hours a day, maybe. He went to work. He came home from work. They had dinner, might have had sex, and he went to bed because he had to get up and go the next morning, right? 2 hours a day, maybe. No constant contact. You can't call her and text her and blah, blah, blah. You didn't have instant communication. That's gone. You now have communicated with the woman you've never met enough to initiate sex without ever speaking to her. DMing, text messaging, instant dating. All of that time is condensing. Women don't do bored, and they get instant gratification all the time. So you are going to try to provide a lifetime of happiness to somebody while you still trying to go to work, boringly paying the bills, and she craves, per her nature, instant gratification. It is almost impossible to have true long-term relationships in this current generation, in this current age. Now, you would think that it would be a young man thing, but the problem is women do group think. You don't get to have a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old think in different things. Women do group think. No matter that age range you think, it pervades the entire species of women. While we still thinking, I'm older than that, I'm more mature than that. They're not. They're not doing that. So good luck. But until a woman can no longer do the stupid stuff she did at 15, and this is scientifically proven in some articles, is that a woman stops maturing mentally the moment she realizes she can get you to do something for her if she offers you sex. What age did that happen? They don't start back maturing until the option to make you do something for sex goes away. At this point, she should be in her 40s. That's my thought.
Pretty deep there. Now, one thing you said about the instant gratification, that kind of hints on to the famous NBA player, Steph Curry, and his wife wanted attention. I'm just saying.
Oh, I definitely. I want to ride that right quick.
I think that was a shot at us light skinned dudes. Feel what I'm saying? No. Hold up.
Yeah, y'all leave stuff alone.
Right. No. I like that as a case study, and I'm gonna shut up because I know I'm hogging the time. But I like that as a case study.
Yeah. So back to the topic at hand.
Bring them back, Jay. Bring them back, Jay.
When is the right time to get married? There's really no right time. You have to identify your needs, your wants and needs, and you and that individual agree on that, and you make a determination on that time.
Yeah.
I just think we just gotta live our life as referees. Something ain't right, throw a flag on the play.
Yeah.
For me, it's just black and white. Plain and simple. If you don't feel comfortable on something, is either you gonna keep on moving or you gonna voice that opinion to the person that you want to get married to.
And I like what both J Dub and Chunky Don said about you talking about the finances and stuff like that. So when you bring that stuff up, that's something that y'all should have constant conversation about.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
constantly,
yes.
Not just beginning a relationship,
yes.
And then
7 years later.
Right?
No, constant, because that lets you know, hey, are we still on the same path, or are we still, you know what I'm saying? Are we? Because we talk about when we first married, right? This is what we want. Are we still on that same game plan?
Absolutely.
Are we both on the same team?
Right.
If not, what changed or what need to be done? I mean, that might be a different conversation about how to stay married.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'll just clarify, just to simplify. I really think as long as you don't expect a long-term commitment, anytime's a good time to get married. Just don't expect it to last a lifetime.
And that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like, for me personally, my divorce was a good thing for me. It helped me find my new wife, my new potential wife. My new upcoming wife.
You sound a little nervous right there. My new potential wife.
So my question to you is,
to who?
To the table, because y'all all married or you're currently married. You get what I'm saying? Is it really true that after year 6, that's when you really find out if you're going to be with that person for long term?
I think it's actually 5.
Is year 5?
Yeah,
My bad. I'm sorry. I just wanted to,
Yeah, because I know a lot of friends / whatever, and they didn't make it to the 5 years.
Okay.
So they say if you make it to 5 years, it's going to last long.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, personally, I think it's some truth to it because it's just like a business. Most businesses failed in the first 5 years as well.
Facts.
In a relationship, like Seth was saying, individuals get bored. When you get married, you feel like you don't have to do the same things you did to keep them. Mm-hmm. So in that first 5 years, most of the time we determine that we're bored in this relationship and we want to move on.
But this is the same lady that just had a baby too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Babies don't keep
No.
in relationships.
No, I'm saying they don't, but I'm just saying you can't say you're bored, but you're still having a whole baby. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
because if you're bored,
why?
You're bored. Do you continue with the boredom, or do you go to something that's going to give you fun? You know what I'm saying? So why still have a baby for this man if you was bored?
Okay, I get that.
We should address the financial aspects of it at one point, but having a baby is a business decision that a woman makes because it's financially in her best interest over the long term. But that's my opinion.
But before you get into that, you said if you're bored, right? Either couple, man or female, what they bored, but they still having kids. They're still having sex because they married, right? And neither one really want to step out the relationship. So even though that it's not a happy home, right? Let's say it's not a happy home. I know I can still get this right here any way I want. I don't got to go out there and spend money and take a girl out and all this and get a side girl or she get a side dude. So the in-house is always there. Let's be clear. So, like, we all men here, we all know. We mess with one girl. It could be 10 years from now. If I see her again and she still look decent, I can get it. Point blank period.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. So if I'm married, of course, I'm going to get it right here first. Well, I don't fight these young girls and might get an STD, might get HIV.
Might get shot.
You might get shot. It ain't risky. So people still going to have sex. Doesn't mean that they're still happy. You get what I'm saying? So that's why the kids might pop up, because some dudes is like lazy. Like, you know what? 10 years in, I'm hitting this all day, all night long. Oh, man, I forgot to pull out this time. Boom, you got a kid. And then he mad, like, dang, why'd I do that? You know why you did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they have kids. But like Seth was about to say, it's a financial mood as well, too. Because if they're done, right, and the one child is already, 12 years old.
That's 6 years of child support.
Boom. And they know they're about to clock out.
That's 18.
But anyway, once again, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But once again, I think it was a great topic. Does anybody have any other questions before we close out? About when's the right time to get married?
Well, once again, my answer, anytime, as long as you don't expect it to last.
And me personally, I would say this. I would say for either male or female, make sure you have your finances in order. Number one. And then number two, communication is key. If you can't talk to each other about anything, if y'all two can't be best friends, then the relationship is done. Like, you should be able to tell anything. I mean, anything, anything.
Nobody want to hear the truth.
I mean, true, but I mean, if you can't have at least a 95% conversation about truth, then it ain't gonna work out.
That's a fact, though. That's a big fact.
You know, right? I mean, in the day, you don't tell your woman
everything.
You know, don't tell them 95, not 100, because you tell them 100%, they'll be like, and y'all get an argument or whatever, or you think about the other girl.
99.9% gonna come up.
Gonna come up. So keep it at 95%. Like, at the end of the day, no woman want to hear about another woman, and no dude want to hear about another dude.
Dude, facts.
That's facts. I don't care how much they say. Oh, baby, you can tell me anything. Don't fall for it. And then closing out, J-Dub?
No, I agree. I agree with most of you guys' statements. But you, for the most part, you'll know when the time is right for you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, well, people. Well, thanks again to the Chop team. If you have any questions, concerns, please like, share, comment. Also, go ahead and download the Spreaker app where you can chat to us directly. We do plan on actually doing live filming and live chat, so you can chat to us and even call to us. But we got to get people viewing the show before we do that, right?
Hey.
Yep.
All right, people. Thanks again. Thanks. Welcome to the Chop team. You have a good day.
Peace.
Peace.